But yeah, that's us. Harry boy, we're live and we're loud. How's it going, my man? Game week 310. We're on the eve, we're on the cusp. Feels like eternity. It certainly has been. So I don't know about you, right? But I have had so many headaches with my teams. I had like an epiphany. Like this is 6:30 now, right? About 4 hours ago, I came up with a mad epiphany of I was going back through the prize pools again, Harry, and we'll do that again on the stream today. We'll look at the fixtures. We'll go through all the good stuff right before the game week starts. That is essential viewing for our Sorare managers and scouts around the world. I would say, Harry. So we'll get into all that stuff. But I had like a last minute epiphany and kind of tore up a wee bit of the Barcelona rule book. I also, Harry, I don't know if I told you this. I don't think I have. Surprise exit at FC Barcelona today. Was not expecting to sell him, was not trying to sell him, was not thinking about anything, but Hall of Famer, super rare, Kieran Trippier has left the club. So for anyone who's like relatively newish to the channel, right, wee bit of background, right, first ever super rare I bought, I stayed up to like 2-3 a.m. in the morning to bid on it. I paid 0.24 Ethereum for him, which in any market is fantastic, but at that time, that was £45. Which is just even sweeter. I can't hear you. Oh, okay, right. I can see there. Collab Cam 1. This should be able to hear you. Let me see. Yeah, I can see that too. That's odd. So let me see properties. Monitor only. No, that's fine because I'm monitoring what's coming in. That's bizarre. Oh, that is bizarre. I hope that's not the case. Oh, I think I've seen something actually. 2 seconds, guys. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. We've got a new kind of system set up to bring Harry in with us tonight. So the webcam and yeah, broadcast to your guest is this. He'll have also selected that. Share video source. Nope, don't need to do that. Yeah, so that's so bizarre. Still oh, let me check that. Yeah, this is still the volume for Harry. I can put up to full. And then I wonder if I maybe put down the volume for your this. Maybe that'll help. Then close. Right. He looks pretty. All part of the plan. Yeah, can you still damn it, man. This is so frustrating. We've got a backup, we've got what we did last time that will work anyway. But that is just super annoying. I'm gonna hit this button, right? Maybe this will help, right? I don't know if it will, but maybe it will. If you we'll just have a wee chat for a second, right? So I've changed something, right? So from now, guys, I need a thumbs up or a thumbs down from this point onwards to let me know if we can hear Harry or not. Harry, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm just hoping the guys at home can hear me.
I know. We'll get you on anyway. We've got the backup system. So we'll wait for a thumb up or a thumb down because there's like a wee minute delay. And by the time, get out your phone, open the chat, give us the wee up or down whether you heard Harry there, then we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's a bummer. We can hear him. Alex Dobbins says we can hear him.
No way. No way. I'm back. I found my voice box.
Way. Fantastic. Right, there we go. Right, so we're 4 minutes in. The stream has commenced. Harry, we are on the cusp. We are on the verge of Game Week 310, the biggest one there's ever been. Buzzing to have you back on, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing really well, mate. Yeah, no, I really appreciate you asking me to come on. And yeah, like you alluded to there, massive game week ahead. I'm just so happy the international break is behind us. And yeah, we can just crack on with domestic football, man.
Well, that's what I was saying right before we realised we couldn't hear you, Harry, is I had a bit of an epiphany earlier today, like tore up the rulebook. I sold Kieran Trippier as well. That's exactly what I was saying. So, offer came in out of nowhere. He's a limited edition card because he's now at Newcastle, doesn't get printed anymore, all the rest of it. And anyway, the nuts and bolts of it is I sold him for an ETH and a quarter. So I made a full ETH on it, right?
Okay, yeah.
That amount as well in pound note terms is also like a clean £1,500 on top of what I paid for him. So like on both
Lovely.
currencies, like it was a really fun trade to finish. I do miss him already, to be honest with you. Like I actually maybe could use him this game week, but I was looking at it, man. I do love the card and everything, but he's 32.
Mm-hmm.
And I have personally, this is kind of why I wanted to share this. I want to hear your kind of thoughts on this if you've got any similar experiences. But I've kind of found with the divisions that Trippier are normally I'm trying to get him in. Him being a super rare defender has actually been more of a hurdle than anything, because him being one of the super rare options then forces a rare to step up in another position where I might also have had another good super rare. And sometimes defense is one of those positions where you can get away with like an above average rare who can score well, delivering.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it depends where you were looking to play him, but predominantly, I guess. I mean, was it like All Star Super Rare, or would it have been like an All Star Rare type of, or Rare Pro? Sorry, my apologies.
For the most part, he's been a rare pro guy.
Okay.
But like since the Celtic kind of contingent have came in, like I want to play my Celtic cards if I can in All Star
Mm-hmm.
Pro versus Challenger, so that
Oh,
then Trippier, like if I've got like other like I've got a Rio Hatate defender super, I've got a
mm-hmm.
lot of other options anyway that I could play there, and I've got good rare defenders that normally make that lineup. So he is kind of fell into Champ Euro, which I'm not even really that excited about at the moment, even though I do still like having a footprint in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mate. If you're not, I mean, you've just sort of explained it well enough. If you're not excited about it, then what's the point having that amount of ETH tied up in a player where it's not? It doesn't sound like your priorities are there anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he's just going to be neglected in that sense. As much as you'd love to use him more, maybe, but your priorities right now, it doesn't seem like lie, within the Champions Europe, sort of realm. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'm sure you can utilize that money elsewhere way more efficiently and sort of build out another portion of your gallery where it's a little bit more needed, compared to that champs, like you just alluded to. Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, it just kind of felt right in that respect as well. Like I just thought, you know what, maybe and again, like I wasn't looking to sell them, but again, it's one of these things in the so rare market you kind of you get accustomed to the longer you play it. That sometimes when somebody's offering you money, you take it. You know,
Yeah.
because how often
100%.
do you think, no, I don't really want to sell this guy? You hang on to it, and then
Mhm.
something happens, and you're like, crap, man. Imagine I had that ETH right now. That'd have been quality. I wish I'd done that. And then maybe
Yeah.
that ship has sailed, and you can't go back and get that
100%.
opportunity second time around. So yeah, it just kind of felt right in a few respects, and yeah, like everything you said there was pretty much it. But what I was kind of more wondering from you, right, is
Hmm.
have you found yourself in that position with a super rare where you're like, oh, I kind of wish this guy was a rare, because then like the position they were in maybe putting too much, like maybe you're like basically what it comes to is, have you found yourself in the situation building an all-star rare pro team where you've got three super rares you could be playing there?
Yes, it's difficult for me to really answer though, Quinny, just because my All Star Rare Pro doesn't even come into my questioning right now, or even
Sure.
my realm of teams. So, but I've got there's a similar analogy in the sense like maybe my Nico Williams Super Rare, right? Like right now he's not good enough for me, or he's not reliable enough for me to like want to play him as one of my stellar. If I play under 23 Rare Pro and I play under 23 Super Rare, there's six outfielder super rare positions to fill, right?
Yep.
Right now, he's not getting in the six. He's just not. Like the way the Forest are playing, I just can't afford to put him in there. So that makes me a little bit sad. So that means then I can't play him in, like I'd like to play him in, let's say, under 23 rare, but I can't do that. Obviously, he's a super rare. So like, it's a similar situation, I guess, but not quite exactly the same. But yeah, like I have that with a few cards where I'm like, I do kind of wish he was a rare sometimes. Um, but then, I did have a rare, so it's my problem. It's my fault I sold it. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably had too many at one point, and now
Yeah.
I don't have enough, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, I completely get your point.
So that was a kind of that was a kind of back on for that. But then with Trippier leaving, we're also, I say, I'm kind of tearing up the rule book with the way I've kind of prioritised some divisions and whatever. And yeah, I'm taking a wee bit of a different approach to it. So I'm looking forward to actually going through this build with you for the game week. And I'm not gonna tell you what I've done or anything like that or what I'm thinking, but we'll go through it all, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and keep my cards close to my chest, and let's see how, because I might change my mind again going through all this. You know.
100%. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you know, we'll do a wee
It's
kind
part of
of
the fun, isn't it?
spot reveal on the back end of it, if that makes sense. I dropped a little
Yeah, let's do
video. I don't know if you'd have seen it or not, but I dropped a little video earlier today, and what it was a little edited version of the public part of the stream from yesterday, the member stream. And in that, it was just a wee kind of 4 going into this game, so I didn't need to like worry about too much, like explaining every bit of the team and why I've picked some people. And also then there's nice wee links into the stream now, so if somebody was to happen to watch that, they can come and join us now, kind of idea. But the teams are all totally different since that. So even if you watched a video earlier today, my teams, I don't think they are anyway. I don't think they really resemble that anymore. So it should be good banter, should be good fun. Where will we start, Harry?
Excited,
Where will we start?
Would you want to do prize pools first or fixtures?
Let's go with fixtures.
neither.
Let's go with fixtures.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go with fixtures. Let me go pull them up before I go and pull them up. If that makes sense to anyone at home.
Gaza, welcome to the stream, by the way. I was just saying, Gaza said that apparently I'm a little bit quiet, so I'm going to speak a little bit closer to my microphone. I don't know whether this is helping, lads. Is that too loud? Please do let me know.
It's definitely not too loud. I can tell you that.
Okay. Okay, I'll just sort of need to bend down a little bit.
Let's see, your bars on the cam are much better than what's on the...
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah. But feel free to raise your voice, Harry. It's no problem.
Yeah, sorry, Gaza, if it's a little bit too quiet for you. I know I'm on the big screen, or we're on the big screen, as usual.
It's always good to get a heads up, isn't it? But yeah, this should work. 3, 2, 1, bang. Yeah. There we go. Right, so the first set of matches that we've got up on screen is France. Okay, so PSG are at home to Nice. Now, Nice are like bottom half of the table at the moment, but you know they've always got a well-stocked squad. So maybe not a clean sheet for PSG, but probably still a decent enough win, you would think. Monaco, Nantes both have midweek fixtures, both have international players at youth level and senior, so you know, messy fixture to say the least. And then otherwise, Leon looks like a good fixture, right? But Lons are actually like 3rd or 4th or something, you know. So again, that's not a mugs game either. And then Marseille away from home are always sketchy anyway at the best of times, but that could be a great fixture potentially, because Angers can get spanked sometimes. But you know, it's not PSG they're playing, which is probably the highlight out of France this week, you know. And Spain, I don't know. I don't think there's any good fixtures here at all. I think Real Madrid have got a good fixture. They're at home to Osasuna.
Do as well.
Barca, well, I don't know, man. Like Mallorca at home are like a different animal, I think, you know, because they're on that wee island. They've always got a decent home record, and like if Mallorca are going to beat somebody, it's at home, you know. So like Barca will probably score 2 or 3 goals all the same, but I don't know. I don't think it'll be I may be wrong, but Mallorca play 5-3-2, you know, so they're going to bank in, and their kind of fullbacks. I've got one of them is Maffeo. He is like a winger, like of a right back. You know, he's like Trent, kind of. You know, he's always in the box, kind of idea. So I think like they're kind of built to do their game plan, and it might be okay. I don't think. And Barca are a hard team to, as you know, Harry, pick because who the hell's going to start? What half will the goals come in?
Yeah. All the best. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I'm sort of hedging my bets as best as I can, and basically not playing, you know, them where I need to, if that makes sense right now, because it's just not worth it. I mean, you know, Pedri and Gavi are probably going to play, even though I don't know, maybe they might not. They just come back from international duty, but so did half the other, you know, the midfielders. And De Jong's injured as well. So there's things to.
De Jong injured? I didn't know that. I'd forgotten.
I think he's got a slight injury. Yeah, nothing crazy. I could be wrong though. But yeah, Real Madrid also soon has a decent fixture, I would say, for Real.
Yeah, it's just the only thing with Real is in a game like that. Like if it was Barca at home at Osasuna, you might think, oh, it could be 4-0, but you don't get that with Real Madrid. Really, you're like, oh, that could be 2-0. You know.
100%.
Kind of thing.
100%.
So for the La Liga ticket giveaway, the 2 best fixtures, if anyone was planning on at this very late hour doing something about it, Atletico Bilbao are at home to Almeria. That looks like one of the plum fixtures, as well as at Getafe at home to Valladolid. So that could be 2 good fixtures. Seville are hosting Atletico. That's a game I wouldn't want to be touching, really, SO5-wise. It doesn't feel fun at all. And then some of the other games here, like if you've got some players and you think the matchup will work, as I do, across some of these games in particular, then maybe there's something to be had. But in Spain, again, I don't feel any top v bottom dominance, like big teams against small teams particularly or anything.
No.
Now MLS Harry's getting a bit dodgy now because some of the teams are like, we're going to the playoffs, we're fine. Doesn't really matter now where we finish, if we're
Yeah.
third or we're fifth. Who really gives a hoot, you know? Some teams won't
Mhm.
make the playoffs at all, and they're like, why even bother now? Let's just rotate and play the kids and all the rest of it. Very few teams have something going on. It's some supporter shield stuff is still to be decided, as well as top the conferences, and then on the bubble there is some teams that are fighting. Some of them have a realistic chance, some of them don't have a realistic chance. So MLS is actually really tricky this game week because I was looking at some fixtures and you think like, oh, Dallas should spank Colorado. But Dallas are like in the playoffs, no problem at all. Areola suspended. Jesus Ferreira's just coming back from international football. And the Rapids are
Yeah.
not going anywhere. They're dead in the water. Their season's finished. So
Mhm.
do Dallas rotate? Do Colorado try? Do Colorado maybe try more than Dallas? Because, maybe there's some kids for trying to make so MLS is really sketchy this game week, I don't know. Have you looked at MLS much this game week, Harry? Do you have any cards over there now? Jesus Ferreira, I suppose.
I have a couple, but
Yeah.
yeah. So Ferreira being one of them, like you mentioned. I mean, yeah, I've put him in my All-Star Rare team just as like an ETH grinder because I just don't want to risk it. Like he's the only one that like could play. The rest are like George Campbell probably doesn't play for Atlanta. Like there's sort of definite no's in that case. Ferreira's my only like could he play, could he not? So I'm quite happy that I don't have many headaches in terms of the MLS because like you said, it's a whole mess right now in terms of trying to predict lineups and stuff. So yeah, no, for me, I'm lucky. I've kind of stayed out of it, to be honest.
I think one of the most, I was just kind of having a scan over again the fixtures against the table, but one of the most competitive games we're going to have this game week is going to be Montreal at home to Miami. Miami have quite famously been a bit of a meme club for the most part until recently. They started to get their act together, and Montreal, like if Montreal win their last two games, then the Union don't, and I think if LA were maybe to drop a point or so, like Montreal could come out and sneakily catch the supporter shield, maybe just by the skin of their teeth. So like that's a big game for them. Miami are on the bubble for playoffs, and then Orlando are away to New York. So that's a big game for them. Big game for New York as well.
Mm-hmm.
They need form going into the playoffs. I think all good teams need that. But again, like games that involve San Jose, Houston, Kansas, they're all dead and buried. Basically, not get much going on. So it's a sketchy division this week in particular, and even though some teams have nothing to play for. Oh no, sorry, I beg your pardon. It's Toronto that are playing Miami. Why did I think it was Montreal? Montreal are playing DC. Oh yeah, I think I actually favour the Montreal fixture because DC are dead and Montreal have got that supporter
Yeah.
shield to go for. But so Miami are playing Toronto. Where are Toronto? Yeah, they're dead and buried. They're not going anywhere. Yeah, so scratch everything I said about the Miami game. But yeah, Philly are away to Charlotte. Maybe Philly drop points there, which could help Montreal and all the rest of it. But yeah, it's a bit of a funny division this game week. Cincinnati should be a big favourite against Chicago, you would imagine. They've still got maybe a better seeding because, again, Cincinnati, even though you might look at that and think, oh, they're in the playoffs, but they've had the wooden spoon, i.e. they've been the worst team overall at the end of the year,
By a
3
mile.
years in a
Yeah.
row. It's unheard of,
Mm-hmm.
unprecedented. So every point in every position place really does matter at Cincinnati this year, even though I think on the face of it, you might think, oh, well, they'll want to finish third if they can. They'll want to finish second if they can. I don't think that's mathematically possible, but they'll want to finish third if they can, sort of thing. And Chicago are
Yeah,
dead and buried,
I like
going
that
nowhere.
fixture for Cincy. I don't mind that fixture for Cincy at home.
Yeah.
I think that could be a good little game for Brenner and Vasquez and
Yeah.
Co. Definitely.
It's a game where they could turn up and get goals. In Switzerland, I
Yeah.
don't really know much about what's going on in this division, but Sion are at home to Winterreuther, and I think Winterreuther are probably one of the smaller teams in the league. So if you're getting Sion cards, it's probably quite good. In Italy, we've got Napoli
Basel at
against
home.
Torino, which isn't an easy game, I don't think anyone would say. Juve here are
Not
crap
at all.
against Bologna. Sorry, Harry, on you go.
No, I was just saying that Basel are at home to St.
St.
Gallen, is it?
Gallen. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No worries. Back onto Serie A.
Sorry, it's just I normally just dingy Switzerland for the most part 'cause we don't have that many cards,
No,
and I
you're
don't know
fine.
which ones we do have, But I don't think Napoli
No, you're
Torino is that dangerous of a fixture for like people going to be stamping hard on Napoli. Similar with really the rest of them. Juve at home to Bologna. Juve are pretty mince. Bologna have got some decent players. Inter Roma. Maybe AC Milan have got a good fixture. Lazio have got a good fixture for sure. And then Atalanta Fiorentina's
Yeah.
quite busy as well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
cautious. I've been talking over you. Sorry, Harry. But give me a chance
No,
to
you're
come in
fine.
on that. But if
No,
there's not you want to go over that on that, that's fine.
no,
K
you're fine.
League,
I just sneezed.
I know that's cool, man. K League, again, it's post split. Daegu are fighting against relegation by all accounts. So I think I think Cecilia and Daegu are, punching, they're swinging for the fences, as they say in baseball, this game week. So I'm not really looking forward to using any soul cards, in particular, the only one I've got. So I'm worried about Daegu this game week. I know you've got a few Korean cards, Harry. Have you got anything on these fixtures?
I don't, mate. To be fair, no. I've literally just recently got out of Seo Young Woo about a month ago, a week ago, to be honest. I had a bit of a surplus in defense, especially rare defenders, and yeah, I just didn't really need him in there. And even though like his price is nowhere near where it used to be, I still kind of made a little bit on him in terms of ETH. Just because I luckily bought him off season last year. So and he's 23 basically, so he'll be done next June. So yeah, he's not finished, but yeah, for me, I just didn't really need that extra defender in there. But yeah, away to is it Ichion?
Yeah,
Incheon? Yeah. So yeah, not honestly, I've kind of zoomed out and of the K League right now because I used to have a Cho Young Wook as well for Seoul, like you said. But yeah, no interest for me right now.
fair enough. And in Denmark, both of the teams we've got licenses for are at home in fixtures I would consider favourable. Odense normally are not a crap team, but I don't think they're shooting up the table at the moment. And Viborg are normally good for goals, if you ever been a goal market better. So if you've got Midtjylland and Aalborg cards, maybe that's something to think about for this game week, I would say. Who do Rosenborg have? They're away to Christensen's. That should be a game Rosenborg do well in, if anyone has Rosenborg cards. And League 2 France, I'm not going to touch. Ecuador, I'm not going to touch that. And then we get to Turkey, Harry boy. Have you got anything in Turkey?
Mate, I don't actually. No, I actually don't. I've had bits in Turkey before, but I'm just looking now. No, I've actually I had that goalkeeper, the one you had. Is it
Is
Bayezid?
it?
So
Yeah.
Bayezid. Yeah, I had him for like a game week or so, and then ended up selling him on, and he's ballooned in price ever since. So I regret selling him. But I needed a rare goalie that one weekend. I bought him off auction. He was the only new minted version, if that makes sense. He was
Sure.
one of 100. Yeah, made a tiny bit on him, but yeah, probably should have kept him. But they have Trabzonspor, which will be a tough game, I imagine.
Yeah,
Besiktas Fenerbahce is another big one. So
it is.
yeah, a few of the big guns playing each other in Turkey this weekend. Have you got anyone in mind?
Yeah, well, my super rare goalkeeper plays for Karagumruk here, the team with the red badge that are managed by Andre Pirlo. It's the Italian guy,
Yeah.
Viviano. And they're against this team who are like cannon fodder at bottom of the division. So it should be the clean sheet
Yeah,
game.
Istanbul
And
Sport.
Viviano's had
Yeah.
good AA to this point. He's been racking 60s and 80s without clean sheets.
Nice.
So if I can get a clean sheet with Viviano, man,
huge.
it could be a real, let's hope it comes in. It could be a big one.
Yeah.
Galatasaray have been interesting. I've actually just through doing scouting and doing videos and stuff. Like there's some Galatasaray players I'm eagerly kind of watching from afar at the moment. And I think Konyaspor, the green and white hoop team, they're at home against a really low level team as well. And so, if you've got any Konyaspor players, it's a good game week to have them. I think, like Guilherme, Hadzimetovic, Ibrahim Sehic, the goalkeeper. I think that kind of solid spine this team has. I was probably on for another good game week if he's have any of those pieces. League MX, I'm not too up on. Harry, what about you?
No, I'm not too interested. I mean, Atlas at home. I know there's a few Atlas cards flying around on the old Sorare, but yeah, nothing crazy standing out to me here, to be honest.
It doesn't. Yeah, Porto
Laguna
at
as
home to
well.
Braga. Benfica are away to Victoria Guimarães. And then I don't see Sporting Lisbon. Oh, they're at home to Gil Vicente. So the Portuguese teams, Porto aside, but Benfica, but their fixture's okay, but they're away. And then Sporting Lisbon have probably get the best fixture at home. So that's definitely a strong game for Sporting Lisbon cards potentially. That could be a 3-0 win or something,
No, definitely. Yeah, Porto play tomorrow night as well. Obviously, I have a Costa, so I don't like the Friday night kickoffs as they are, and especially Costa playing against Braga. That just sounds like a 4-3 to Porto or something, and then yeah, if he concedes 3, it's just guaranteed. I can just see it.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
Well, let's hope not, Harry, for your sake.
Yeah, I hope not. He's had 2 good games international, like for his international team, obviously Portugal. I know they conceded really late against Spain, but yeah, clean sheet in the first game. and then yeah, 1-0 loss to Spain in the second. But yeah, like you said, Sporting is definitely the good fixture here.
And then in Belgium, like Genk, who have been really good domestically since they don't have European football this year, they're away to Ostend, who, like Ostend, like always on Sorare, Ostend have got fun players to get for SO5. You know, they've always had somebody knocking about who's kind of fun and who's really cheap. And, you know, they've got some of those guys again knocking around, so they're definitely not a write-off. They are at home, you know, but on paper, I think that's a very good fixture for Genk if they show up, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Ghent and Cercle Bruges on paper again. I think it's a really good fixture for Ghent if you've got the appropriate cards. But Anderlecht and Charleroi should take out some of the big hitters in this division against each other, maybe. Bruges at home to
Possibly, yeah, that'll be a
Mechelen.
tough game.
Yeah, it will be tough. And then Bruges, Mechelen. Bruges obviously have Champions League midweek. They've been doing very well in their group, so it'll be interesting to see what their kind of squad strategy is with this game. You know, and then Antwerp away, who are like second now or something.
I think the first game as well, though, Liège versus Sorare.
Sarang, yeah.
Sarang, yeah, they're yeah, I think that's a really decent fixture for them. Even though Standard aren't great, I still think they should be beating Sarang at home, definitely.
Yeah. And Westerlo and Zoot, that'll probably be like 5 each or something, that game. That'll probably be goals galore.
Yeah.
And then we get into Russia, right? So let's see. So we've got Loco at home, right? Big Moscow team at home to a minnow, right? So that's a good game for them. But I don't think there's that many weapons at Lokomotiv Moscow at the moment. Spartak are away
Not really, no.
to Nizhny.
Yeah.
Dinamo are away to Akhmat. So again, like, they're not bad fixtures.
Krasnodar away as well.
But away, yeah. And then Krasnodar are away to Krylia. And again, like, they're not great. They're not bad. Yeah. It's not like these teams are fortresses at home, but these teams going away is the chance you've got of them not spanking big SO5 scores, you know. Seska also away to Khimki. And then St. Petersburg are at home to Rostov. So all of Moscow is left. Moscow is mobilised and they are going across Russia this game week. And Zenit St. Petersburg are going to hold the fort against Rostov, which again is not a minnow club, you know. So
game.
Good game for us.
32nd.
32nd, yep. So maybe Russia is out the equation. Harry, what do you think about all that?
Yeah, no, I kind of, yeah, just looking at it there, like you said, Spartak, Krasnodar, Dynamo, obviously Zenit at home, but against, you know, second in the league, like we just said. Yeah, I don't fancy anybody to score unbelievably well there. I mean, it's hard to bet against the Zenit lads, even though, you know, they're playing second in the league. I don't know how much that really sort of comes into the equation. It should do to a degree on paper, but as we know, the Zenit lads are the Zenit lads. So, yeah, but if anyone's going to give them a game, it's Rostov right now.
Yeah, agreed completely. And I've just noticed as well, Sochi and our decent team, they're away. And yeah, so yeah, let's see, maybe Russia's out of the equation. We get to Holland, right? AZ away to Groningen, and of course, you know, there's a lot of good AZ cards knocking around. So Groningen's a team that could definitely concede a few. Now, seeing on the Sorare data, like advanced lineup builder, there's some crazy stats for Utrecht against Excelsior in this fixture. So if you've got any wee cheeky Utrecht cards that you've got in your gallery who play and you quite like them, it could be a wee it could be a great fixture for Utrecht cards. Nudge. Feyenoord away, 20 Vitesse, Ajax at home to Go Ahead, and PSV away to Cambuur. Those two games at the end, Ajax and PSV have got great fixtures, don't they?
Yeah, unbelievably. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, yeah, no. I mean, like Ajax at home, it looks a bit more favourable, but even so, Cambuur aren't up to much at all. And I don't think it matters where PSV are playing. To be honest, they'll always come with goals if Gakpo, you know, Xavi Simons and Co are on form like they have been. Yeah, I'm sort of, well, I'm happy that I have an Ajax player, but yeah, I don't have anyone in the PSV camp right now. So yeah, I'm a little bit scared that could be like a little 4-0.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Quite easily, man. And then Ajax and Go Ahead, like that could be any scoreline again. But again, I think there's a wee bit of jeopardy with some of these teams about preparing for midweek, and if they have some international players, which these teams do, at youth, international, and senior. Serie B, not going to worry about that, Harry. The Prem, don't think it really comes into much SO5 action unless Liverpool are playing bottom, which they're not. They're playing Brighton, who don't have Graham Potter anymore, so I don't think we can really look at Brighton the same way until we see the new guy. So maybe that's a great fixture for Liverpool. But
Possibly,
it's a maybe.
on paper, you could look at it like that, definitely.
it's a maybe, because Liverpool do need to. Everyone's giving them penalties now.
Yeah.
We then get to the Bundesliga. Now, Borussia Dortmund are away. Now, I think, fucking Harry, I've been waiting for Gio Reyna to come in to the fore. I think
I
it
know.
sounds like he was maybe came off injured again, man. This international break.
I know.
Royce is injured as well. Obviously, Haller's not in the team yet. So Dortmund, man, I thought they were going to go into this fixture maybe quite strong, but I don't know how Dortmund will look. But you'd fancy them to still score a few, I suppose. But pain.
Yeah, definitely sounds like goals in that game, if I had to bet.
Pain. Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, hopefully there's some goals in that. Leipzig look to have a great fixture if you believe that Leipzig are on an upward trajectory, and hopefully they're not because they now play Celtic in a double header in the Champions League. As Harry knows, because me and Harry Boy are going to the game. We've got tickets. We're going to Leipzig Celtic, the second game, which is the 11th of October. So, yeah, I keep forgetting about that. But yeah, so we'll be going to that. Leipzig this week, Harry, at home to Bochum. Will you be tuning in to watch the game?
I probably will be because I want to be doing some in real life scouting when I'm down in Glasgow, or up in Glasgow, should I say. Yeah, no, I'll definitely keep an eye on that. Yeah, I've got a little eye on Slobosly right now.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, just hoping that I don't have one right now, but yeah, he's definitely on my radar. And yeah, just hoping that, like you said, Leipzig can continue their upward trajectory, and sort of kick on. And this is a perfect game to do. I think Bochum have 1 point right now. I could be wrong. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's 1. So yeah, definitely a good fixture for them.
Big time. So let's kind of hope and not hope at the same time. Depends on perspective. Hoffenheim away to Berlin, like could be like 4 each again this match, just the teams in question and all the rest of it, Munich play Friday night at home to Leverkusen, so I don't think Leverkusen come into the Gladbach category of being a Bayern bogey team, but Leverkusen, will put up a fight, if nothing else.
You'd hope so.
You think this is a great game for Bayern, Harry?
I wouldn't say great, but yeah, one of my friends sort of asked me earlier, like he had a list of 4 defenders, and one of them, like under 23 defenders, and one of them was Matthias de Ligt, and I sort of picked him out of the bunch, even though there was probably better fixtures or easier fixtures on paper, even though this is Bayern we're talking about. Yeah, and I just picked out Matthias de Ligt. My sort of rationale was I think they're going to win, but I also think they'll be quite busy at the back in terms of having to defend against Diaby's and Schicks. Like it could be a physical battle with de Ligt. It depends who Schick sort of plays on or off. But yeah, no, basically how I said it was, I think they'll be busy enough in defense, but also have enough possession to where they Bayern defenders probably end up scoring really well. Do they concede? I mean, I'd be shocked if they don't, but it's Bayern. You just don't know. It could be a 3-0 quite comfortably. It's a tough one, but I do think defenders will score well in that game. Bayern defenders, of course.
Yeah, well, that's a great upset. Yeah, I can get behind that totally. Makes absolute sense. It's just because again, you don't see Bayern conceding. If Bayern do concede, they're not going to concede more than 2 to Leverkusen. Like
no,
they're not going to get to that 3 mark, are they? And then Schalke Augsburg.
If they do.
Yeah, I think we all would do. Argentina's kind of really fell off the radar in terms of like players that influence the leaderboards since some transfer business as well as a few other bits and pieces. So I don't really look at the Argentinian division with as much like, oh crap, I need to work out is this is a good game for River or what team are Boca going to put out. But Boca are at home to Vélez and River are, I think they're playing Argentinos Juniors or something like that. So both of them are actually on paper look to have quite difficult fixtures as their season rolls up. Argentinos Juniors for River Plate and Lanús are playing maybe an easier game, but I don't think we have Lanús cards. Chile, they're playing Colo-Colo. That's probably the hardest game in Chile, so that's not a good weekend for Universitario players. Smartbank, I'm not up to speed on this enough yet, Harry, to talk about the fixtures with you. Have you looked at the Smartbank League yet?
No, probably not enough. I did a bit of like single scouting, just looking at the auctions and stuff, but obviously I'm only looking at under 23s, but nothing crazy stood out to me. But yeah, no, I haven't gone into it enough. As much as I have maybe like the Bundesliga 2 and the French League 2, to be honest. So yeah, no, I do need to catch up on that for sure.
The only things that kind of jump out to me is like, I think we've got a bottom of the table clash between Malaga and Racing Club de Santander. They're both in the relegation zone. And then top of the league, Las Palmas are away to Mirandes. And I think Mirandes are like lower half somewhere. Championship, all the Burnley card holders, myself included, will be happy to see them play Cardiff. It looks like a great game on paper. Harry boy, how do you feel about
My
that?
city. Well, I'm trying to get a I'm trying to get a ticket, to be honest. I want to go
Oh
watch
wow.
because yeah, I mean, I literally live 2 minutes away from the stadium. So, yeah, I went to watch Wales play Poland midweek, and that was at the Cardiff City Stadium. And yeah, I'm trying to get a ticket. I'm sure I'll find one. But yeah, and I'm playing my Jordan Bayer this week, who
Nice.
should hopefully be playing for Burnley. And yeah, I want to watch Howard Bellis in real life. And there's loads of other, cards on Sorare that play for Burnley. So
Sure.
yeah, it'd just be nice to sort of see them play at the ground that I sort of grew up watching. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be good fun for sure, man.
Yeah, and I don't think Cardiff will be up to much at all. We've just sacked our manager, and yeah, etc. etc. So yeah, I think this is a comfortable Burnley win if I had to guess. To be honest,
love hearing that. And then the only other championship exposure I've got, I've got Rogic at West Brom, but I don't think we're going to see him. But is I know actually I don't even have Marcelino. I do. I've got unlimited still, but Marcelino Nunes, if anyone still has him, or any Norwich cards, because there is a few of them. They're away to Blackpool, and that looks like a fantastic fixture for Norwich. If any have any of those cards. International, if you have any of them, they're playing Sao Paulo, Santos it is, sorry. Corinthians should be an easy enough game, you'd think. Mineiro's got a tough game.
Yeah.
And then I think we're getting towards the end of the fixture list now because we're starting to get back into Colombia now. We've got Japan now. Again, the Japanese division isn't too far off sealed. Yokohama look to be winning the title, and then there's just a few other like who's finishing second, and a few, I don't feel a huge competitive for like coming out of that division at the moment as I look at the fixtures. Do you have any J League guys you're looking out for this week, Harry?
I do, mate. Yeah, I probably have more than I probably would like, but yeah, no, I have Tani, so Tani's back in action.
Yep, same.
Away to Osaka, and then I do have two antlers boys. So I have Sekikawa and Ryotaro Arakai, who I'm hoping starts. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But yeah, I've got them in a little specialist Super Rare lineup, which I'm able to put out because I do have an extra Super Rare goalie right now. So yeah, they're. I'm just looking now. Yeah, they're the only three boys that I have in play. Unfortunately, the Shimizu game was postponed. So yeah, I was down a few cards there, but it wasn't too much of a headache, to be honest.
Nice. Okay, fair enough. Well, it's good to get them in because there's like 5 games left in Japan. Yeah. So I think it's a wee bit underestimated how much utility they still have for this little segment of the calendar. So yeah, I hope that comes in for you, buddy. In Austria, right, we have Salzburg at home to Lask, right, which is maybe another Zenit versus Rostov kind of vibe. I don't know. What do you think about that? Is that a good game for Salzburg?
I don't know. I was looking on like the lineup builder and stuff. It's not coming up as like an amazing fixture, to be completely honest. But it's like the same. Yeah, it's like that same thing like we said with the whole Rostov Zenit thing. It's like how good are Lask? Like I'll be honest, I don't watch enough of the Austrian league. I've watched a lot of Salzburg. Yep. I don't watch a lot outside it. I know there's a few good Lask players though. That Japanese lad, I can't remember his name exactly, but I know he's been scoring pretty well. He's like a midfielder and a forward. Like he has a midfielder and forward cards. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know too much, but like you said, they must have to give him a game. You know, I'd be shocked if it's like a steamroll, especially with like you said, players coming back from international duty midweeks next week. Yeah, I don't know if Salzburg rotate, but I definitely think they'll be cautious. I know there's a lot of Soleil holders probably watching this stream. I saw that he's back in training today, so I don't know whether that means he starts or not. I don't have one, so I don't need to worry about that. But I know a lot of you guys will probably be. I know Chani will be. Chani will definitely be.
All over the Soleil news.
Yeah, looking at the Soleil news and seeing. I don't know. I mean, if in doubt, leave him out is kind of the motto for me. If you can, if you can't, then you play him, obviously. But yeah, if there's alternatives that have more, chance of playing, i.e., they've not been injured, then yeah, you've just got to go with them, I think.
I would probably agree with that overall. And then two other big teams, well, Rapid Vienna away to Tyrol. I think that's a hard away game, but on paper that's big team versus small team. And then Austria, Vienna, Sturm Graz is kind of two big teams playing each other. So, like, outside the Salzburg, it doesn't feel like there's much else coming out. Austria, we should really be fearing necessarily. And Croatia, are you up to much on Croatia, Harry?
Not really, mate. No. I'm really not. No, there's not enough there for me really to.
Well, two of the more traditional big clubs
doesn't entice me.
Rijeka and Hajduk Split are against each other. So, if there's any big power cards in there, maybe they smash against each other and cancel each other out. And then Dinamo Zagreb are at home to Slaven Belupo. And I think Slaven Belupo are maybe not too bad in the division. So I don't know. We'll see how well that goes. I'm just going to double check before I commit to that, because I think I was looking at it before and I thought they were going to be like really. Where the hell is Croatia? Have I already got it on my list? Maybe up here. Have I missed it? I'm losing my mind. I'm just going to put in Zagreb. Sorry, Harry. I want to check this because it's bugging me now. Against Bilipo. Hurry up. So after we finish up with the fixture list, which we're not too far off the end of, we'll be going through the prize pools to see where all the good cards are, and then work out our approach and our strategy for the coming game week. So let's just hit on standings. Why is this going so slow? Oh yes, I'm doing something in the background. Sorry. Yeah, but yeah, Slaven Bilipo, that's them, isn't it? They're third. Yep, they're third. I thought they were going to be a really small team or something, but no, they're riding high. So maybe Zagreb win all the time, as we can see. Doesn't matter really who they're playing. But maybe it's not like a drubbing, Bundesliga 2. You've been up on Bundesliga 2, Harry. Is there anything you want to clue us up with any of these fixtures?
Nothing crazy. I mean, I've only got I've got a player playing for Sandhusen who are away to Fruth, and they're both rubbish right now. So
cool.
Yeah, there's no sort of advantage, I guess. But Hamburg are obviously a decent team and have started pretty well. They're away though to Hanover. So yeah, I don't see anything like crazy here. St. Pauli maybe are at home. That could be a bit of an OP fixture, but like I said, I'm not crazy clued up. But yeah, I'm just sort of learning the ropes, definitely.
Sound okay. And then we get to Scotland. Ross County at home to Hibs. I think you'd make Hibs the favourites for that, but again, Ross County at home are nobody's mugs. Now on the Sorare Data Advanced Pro lineup builder stuff that we get, Harry, Dundee United at home at St Mirren is a quality fixture, let me tell you. So, Tony Watt and the boys are at home. Need to arrest some poor form. You've got St Johnstone coming to town, and Sorare Data backs Dundee United quite favourably. So, if you've got any Dundee United cards, it's the time to put them all together. And we'll all beat St Johnstone with some SO5 power. Celtic at home at Motherwell should be a great fixture for Celtic, and the only problem with Celtic now is all the injuries and stuff. I did a full predicted 11 and broke it all down, and I recorded the podcast earlier today for tomorrow on the Celtics Are Here Celtic channel, so if you want to go check all that out, feel free to. But a lot of headaches and a lot of rotation problems, it's not really rotation problems, but in a so rare space we don't have access to all the cards, Harry. So like if like Giacomakis isn't playing or Maeda isn't playing, you maybe don't always have the option to go and get whoever is going to fill in for them. We don't have Aaron Moy, we don't have O'Reilly, so it's a good fixture, but there's not as many playing cards as there maybe was a few weeks ago, let's say.
Yeah, I've not got much exposure right now to the Scottish League, apart from I've got Callum Slattery who's playing against Celtic, so I'm sure I'll be leaving him out.
Yeah, probably should. Aberdeen at home at Kelly looks like a great game on paper. Aberdeen very good at home, Kilmarnock very bad away. Kilmarnock are like second bottom. Aberdeen, they're trying to get back into the top half. Hearts got European football and all the rest of it still. Against Rangers, like it should be a really hard game for both. Rangers probably still come out they will be the bookies' favourites to win the game, but I wouldn't put it past Hearts maybe getting something out of this, to be quite honest. Tynecastle's always a difficult place for Celtic or Rangers to go to. If you have any Hearts cards, like I wouldn't be scared of this fixture, because again, as long as your guy doesn't get sent off, that's the sort of game this will be. If the guy doesn't get sent off, there's a great chance of some good AA. Again, as long as there's not 3 goals conceded or anything like that going against you. And then Livingston playing St Mirren. St Mirren just beat Celtic, so maybe you shouldn't be playing like your Livingston cards, but other than that, we then get to Peru, and that's the end of the fixture list, Harry. So what do we think?
Yeah, that seemed
not that many power plays, is there?
No, not really. No, it seemed weirdly sort of, I don't know. It just didn't seem like there was that much depth. I mean, like just to recall, the PSV Ajax fixture, okay. I don't know. Apart from Celtic at home, like nothing else is really standing out for me. Can you remember any more? Really?
That's basic. I think that was a bit the long and short of it. Maybe.
Yeah. PSG, maybe.
Maybe PSG I was going to say maybe PSG and Barca, if you do think they turn up and do what they should do. Even though maybe.
Yeah, Barca. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm full of hope, Harry. I'm full of hope. So.
No, same.
For everyone joining the stream, thank you very much for joining us. I've not even entered the live chat yet, so we've done, to this point, if you're joining us now live, the last 40 odd minutes or so, me and Harry have went through all the fixtures across the entire of world football. We've told you exactly what's going to happen in every single match. So feel free to go back and check that out before building your lineups. And now at this point, we're going to get into the prize pools and work out where's the best places to be putting our teams and all that fun stuff as well. At any point in the stream today, even if you're watching this after we've been live, please do like and subscribe, share and retweet, all that good stuff here and over at HarryTrades on YouTube and all across Twitter as well. But we'll drop some fist bumps, Harry, before we get into the prize pools. We had Alex Dobbins, fist bump to you. Jonathan Gargi, James, Simo SR. Harry, you're even in the live chat. Fist bump, good to see you. Adam Butterworth, Vice91, Anna Arslan, Joe Ducey, Santa's Boys, Kaiser, HITC, Ray Wilkinson, Surface Air Missile, Lewis Mendez, Aaron Johns. Everyone's here. Channy Sports, I see you. Hendo, I see you. Everyone's here in the chat. Thanks a lot for joining us all. And I actually seen as well from Joe Ducey, he's saying Reina just come off as a concern. He's not actually injured. So that might actually boost one of my teams at the very, very, very end. Moorish THB, let's go, says Channy. He's buzzing for it. Quinny, the ETH you got for trips, you definitely should look at Las Palmas. Starman Jonathan Vieira, says Santa's Boys. I'm not. So what I'm kind of thinking, Harry, right? I'm in two trains of thought with what to do with the Trippier money, right? I've got a super rare defender that I'm looking at picking up to just replace him, right? And he's not necessarily a replacement for the points, but he's more of a replacement in the team. Like, he's a super rare defender. But the guy himself, I won't give him away because I don't, you know, I'll keep my powder dry on this one, right? But so yeah, I could do that. Or what I was thinking I could do is take the original. This is kind of what I asked you earlier on, right? So I got 1.25 Ethereum for the sale, right? I basically made an ETH, right? So I was thinking maybe take the ETH to one side and do with that. I've got goalkeepers and other stuff I need to do, right? But maybe take that quarter of an ETH and go get a rare champion defender. Because like I was saying to you before, like I found part of my problem with Trippier was I wanted to use him, but I didn't want him to be a super rare because I was trying to get super rare forwards on the pitch as well, and I was trying to get another super rare mid involved and whatever. So having a rare defender in that division is actually more what I need. So I thought I could probably get one of them for about a quarter of a coin, a good, you know, champ euro rare defender that can work if I need him to. Or go get a super rare defender and spend whatever it costs to get him in, and then just pocket the change. What would you do?
Where like what
champ euro
region is this super rare? It is going to be like for like. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Like the way you were speaking to me was as if like Champs Europe is not the biggest priority in your life right now.
Yeah.
Would that be fair to say?
To have a defender I'm getting an offer for who's 32 at 1.2 ETH, you know, like that's part of the picture.
Yeah,
you know?
no,
like
100%.
If I get an offer for 0.9, I'm not even thinking about selling it. You know, if that makes sense. Like, and not even that those numbers are wildly different, but it's like one of those things where it's like you get offered that amount of money, it's like, okay, well maybe I will take that. You know.
No, I completely get the taking of it. It's just like, yeah, I'm just trying to think, you know, rare defender wise, what could you get in on a quote unquote budget to where, you know, it's just gonna fill a void for you. I'm just having a little look now. I mean, this is just me scrolling through, but I'm seeing if Tamori's up for 0.47. I know that's not a quarter of a coin, but
not too
just
bad.
Looking in like, yeah, just sort of.
Hendo's in the chat suggesting rare Trippier, but rare Trippier is like half a coin now.
Yeah, that was the first card I looked at. I swear to God, I just didn't say anything.
But again, I don't want to go and buy a 32-year-old defender.
No,
unless it's Van Dijk.
I get it. True. I don't know. Tamori could be. I mean, that was just me, just sort of blabbering a little bit, but that could be a little shout. I know you'd probably have to add a little bit on top. I don't know. That could be a decent little shout, you know.
Aye. Southgate's been getting penalties for not playing him for England as well, so you'll probably get international duty.
True. Yeah. Or you could go with the boy Caio Henrique.
Oh, how much is Caio? Is it Caio or Chow, by the way?
I don't know. It's probably Chow, isn't it?
Because I said them in a message and I meant it like Chow. Like when I think I maybe tagged you in something, but it was like Chow, and then I put Harry. And then when I put that, I thought, oh, it's Chow. We were all calling him Caio, and then I thought I better bring it up next time it comes up in case somebody knows.
Funny. I'm not too sure actually. I do have a few Brazilian friends who could probably tell me if they needed to, but
oh, aye.
Yeah, no, yeah, you are probably right. But in terms of price,
He's cheap.
He's
He's no cheap.
expensive. He's point. Yeah, he's 0.78 for the new card and then 0.62 for the old card, roughly. So yeah, he's probably out of the range of. But then you said you still have your Robbo, don't you?
Yeah, I've still got Robbo. I've still got Angelino.
So can't.
And because I'm not going to be playing that much U23 anymore, I now have Guardiola
Yeah.
basically spare.
Okay.
So I do have
Do
options.
you need another rare defender? Yeah, like
It's just an
I
option.
don't know if you actually. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
It'd be one for a quarter
Yeah,
of
I
a
don't
coin. You
know.
know, it's one to come in that maybe he becomes a 0.6 defender. You know, it's that kind of idea. You know, as well as maybe be
Yeah.
useful on top. You know, whatever. But no, the super rare defender, like I've been
I'm
looking
sure
at him quite a lot, man. Like I don't know, it's a, and again, it's a piece that I'm hoping I get on the cheap. I'm still kind of, I say I don't want to say who I'm talking to or whatever, you know, but
Yeah,
so,
no, of course.
but yeah, so like the defender could be fun. The super rare that I've already got lined up because it's one of those pieces that plugs into my gallery pretty well strategy wise or whatever. Danilo from
Yeah.
Juve is a great shout. By the way,
Yeah, I like that shout.
Hendo reckons I've maybe sold the SR short, and yeah, maybe I have. I've maybe held out for a wee bit more, but equally, it was one of those ones where I got offered the money and I just found it really tempting to accept it. And even though he's listed for, again, I just can't say it enough, and I can't get it out of my mind. When I got the offer in and I looked at it, I'm like, he's 32. Like, I can't get away from that. I've got him on screen now. Sorry. And I don't know why. I'm not age normally doesn't really come into things with me. I don't know, but like I don't know why. But upon that kind of realization, I was like, you know what? It's a good time to cash out. You know, just go for it. And as far as the super rares go, I
100%.
don't know how well it does on. Yes, I think it's the most ETH he's been sold for as a super rare.
Definitely.
Pound
No, I think
notes.
it's a
It's
good move.
maybe
Like
it's not quite, but again, like it's up there with the all-time high sales, £1,700. Let me put all. So you can find my wee yellow dot all the way back there for £45.
I think it's pretty fair.
Only ones went for a wee bit more ETH,
Ross.
you know. So yeah,
Yeah. Ross said Angelino, but you've already got one, haven't you?
I've got Angelino. Yeah, Angelino, Robbo, Guardiola was basically my options now, which is fine. And I've got a Jack Hendry super rare defender card in now as well, which is a champion. I picked him up just because he's, again, like he's in the Scotland team and I seen how cheap he was going for. And I'm like, man, if he keeps playing for Scotland, I've got Unique McGregor. If he keeps playing for Scotland, then it makes sense to have Scotland super rares that are playing for the national. So, so yeah.
100%.
So let's look at the prize pools, Harry, right? Where to start?
Come on then. Yeah.
Where to start, right? So, where to start? I'll let you pick. What do we want to look at first? All stars? Do we want to look at specialists and underdogs? Do I go through the regions first? What do we think?
We'll do underdogs first.
We'll do underdogs and specialists, right? So we'll start from the top and we'll come down then, right? So underdog limit. Let's say, like, okay, let's go underdog limited, right? So normal underdog, 1,500 cards, top 20 gets star limiteds, right? So this is no goalkeeper, L15 under 50, right? Cards that you can get for like £2 each, basically, if not round about that. You can also get cards for way more money as well, but a decent 1,500 places. And at the moment, how many entries do we have? Can we see that?
15,000 almost.
So top 10% should be bagging. So you need a good team in that, I would suggest. Underdog rare. Now we're getting rare and limited payout in this, right? So at the moment, in underdog rare, we've got 6,200 entrants, plus some change on top of that. Top 140 will pick up a rare. The stars are only for the podium, but otherwise I think, you know, the tiers are pretty decent in terms of the size of them. But 25 tier 1s, about 50 tier 2s, and then like 60 tier 3s. That's okay. And then like 150 tier 3 limiteds, which is just garbage at the end. But it's something. But then underdog super rare. So again, no goalkeeper. L15 under 50. The prize pool, we get tier 3 supers for the back 9 places. So whatever. Tier 3 supers for about, what's that, 15 spots in? We then get 14 spots of tier 2 supers. And then we get the podium tier 1 supers followed on the cherry on top with a star rare right on top there, Harry boy.
It's big. It's big. It's very big.
And in that star rare pool,
I really like the look of that.
We've got Kimmy, we've got Vinny Jr., Allison, Pedri, all the boys. Not all the boys, but most of the good boys, you know.
Most of the boys, yeah.
The tier 3 super pool that's in this, just to have a wee gander, is like some guys that play football. Like, you know, they're not duds or anything necessarily. You know, they're not all world beaters, but they're tier 3s. And one thing I noticed, we'll see this as we go through the pools, but I think the pool content and the specialist and underdog is to be noted. In terms of the pools, Zela Ryan, Krovinovic,
Yeah.
Ginter, Chow Henrique or Cal Henrique, Peter Zielinski, Coop Miners is in the pool. Yeah, so
Some big guns in there.
some big guns
David
in there,
Brown.
and that underdog
Yeah.
specialist, underdog super rare, underdog super rare. I don't know why I'm saying that wrong so many times, but yeah. So nice, and it's less than 500 people in the super rare one, and towards the back we get what's happened here? I've had a wee technical glitch, Harry. Sorry, we'll come back to that in a second. Once I sort myself out.
Fine.
Maybe the site's crashed, because I don't think it'll be anything to do with me.
So
No, we're back up and running.
To be fair.
Yeah, we're back up and running. Maybe it was to do with me. Cool. So we then get a specialist now. This is part of the thing that totally threw me off this week, was when I went back through all the pools earlier today. Right now, we'll start with specialist limited, right? So this is a great division that almost everyone should be playing in, right? The top, we get stars, Harry, for the top 5, right? Which is great. Beyond the podium,
Nice.
top 5 get star rares. This division, for anyone who's not familiar with it, you need to have 2 players that are in their last 15 games scoring less than 40 out of 100. You then cannot have more than 1 player that in their last 15 games has had an average score of over 60 out of 100. So no more than 1 star, and you need at least 2 crappers in here, and then and then you can't take more than 2 guys from the same team. Right, so a great division to mix it up in. People with all sizes of galleries and budgets can enter this and have fun. Star rares for the top 5. The next 20 spots we get tier 1s, which is lovely. And that's a prize pool that's very similar to All Star Rare Pro. That kind of idea in some of the game weeks we've had in times gone by. We then get tier 2s for, what's that, 50 places, 55 places, something like that. And then we get tier 2 limiteds for 400 spots, and then we get 1,000 spots of tier 3 limiteds. So very big prize pool, very great prizes towards the top if you can crack it. 11,000 entrants at this point, Harry. Have you got a team in specialist limited?
I'm gonna disappoint you and say no, to be honest,
No,
mate. I
you
don't.
don't.
So no.
Now, what was the ugly
I did
duckling?
have those. Go on.
Say again?
No, sorry. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I sold off those 5 that I had.
All of them?
Yeah, they're all gone. Mate, honestly, I have an OCD problem. I
Fair
do.
enough.
Until before the common card thing, it used to just bug me every day about the commons. Now they're gone. I'm happy, but I don't know. For some reason, it just throws me off when I have unless I'm gonna buy 50 of them in one, which I'm not right now. I just can't trickle buy them. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I haven't got a good enough rationale to give you as to why I'm like that. But I just can't do it to myself. It's really weird.
Yeah. I get it, man.
Strange.
I've kind of just forced myself to have a few all the time. But what I was going to say, right, is what was the ugly duckling of the prize reward pool? The specialist rare is now maybe actually one of the best divisions to be rocking about. And not only is the podium doubled, double card across the podium, right? Tier 1 supers, tier 2 rares are a bit naff, right? But when you're coupling it with these super rares, this could be a really tasty podium. It is tier 2s, right? So you do need to temper your expectations. There's no Mbappe's in here. But if you're building your gallery and you can play a specialist rare team that's built for purpose, you could be coming out with some nice rewards out of this, man, to say the least. We then get prize reward payouts all the way back to 177th with tier 3 rares. And I say there's tier 2s, rares and supers dotted around all the prize pool, basically. So I think it's had a big upgrade. It looks class
it's
now.
Tastier than it was, isn't it? Much tastier.
Yeah. And then subsequent treatment we've got a unique podium in the specialist super rare division. So we're getting tier 3 uniques for second and third, and a tier 2 unique for number 1, alongside getting a tier 1 super rare each as well. So that is a phenomenal podium. You're getting a tier 1 super, right? So that's going to be decent. You're going to be satisfied with that. If you get a tier 3 unique and it's shite, I don't want to hear complaints, man, because you've got a unique and a tier 1 super, man. That's a great podium, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's look at the tier 3 uniques, Harry.
I know. I'm never one to really enter specialist super rare just because I only normally have one super rare playing goalkeeper. But now I have 2. It's sort of now I have 2, and I also have some rubbish super rares. It kind of opens up this division for me. So yeah, I'm actually super excited to be in this, in the pot this week to win something, hopefully.
Paxton Pomykal unique is in the prize pool. So is Victor
Don't mind
Wanyama.
that. I would take that.
Etienne
that all
Capoue.
day.
Aidan Morris, he'd be decent.
What a guy.
These are the tier 3s, by the way.
Yeah,
Palacevic.
Gutman, Lucas Trossard. There's some good players here.
Even Rakitic in Seville, that'd be a cool card to own.
Oh, wow, okay.
Another guy called Muric, but not the real Muric.
Sakamoto's in there for Ostend.
Yeah. I see Hashioka, Pongracic as well. Akpugoma, Joseph Idu, Vicino. There's some decent players. That's a tier 3.
Zhao Jordan's in there.
Oh, is he?
Zhao Jordan, yeah.
Big JJ.
Quite low down as well. Yeah.
It's a big pool. And then the tier 2 unique, if you did get to the top, right, what's the kind of ideal? Surely you're going to get one of the better ones as well. Should finish first in the division. So we've got this Borges Sanchez guy. I don't know him. Luxembourg, 18-year-old forward. He plays for Luxembourg, so if you got a unique, this guy, at least he plays for his national team. Duvikas, Jordi Alba, really unique. Big. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Barca legend.
Yeah, in the MLS next season.
Yeah. Ivan Illich, I've got his super rare. Again, his unique would be fun.
Yeah. Santiago Simon for River Plate, that'd be massive.
Yep, I've just seen him there as well.
Jahan Bash.
Yep, Jahan Bash. Got still Nemeth, Brandon Sophie.
Fabio Barini still plays football.
Yeah, I know, it's mental, isn't it? He's at that team with Pirlo.
Yeah, I'm just seeing now. That's crazy.
Eo Tanaka unique is in the pool.
Ooh, Mauro Rui.
Jackson Irvine, St. Pauli. That's cool. Conrad Leimer. That's like, imagine you get that for a unique.
Yeah, that's Almas. Almas unique would be crazy.
Yeah. Sabitzer, Golovin. That'd be a great one, wouldn't it?
Leimer, yeah, that's crazy. Sabitzer, Golovin, yeah, wow.
I think you're catching up. I think I ran ahead there. Sorry, Harry.
No, you're fine. I've just got it on my own screen because I do. Carvajal.
And then I'm going to jump over to the tier 1 supers, right? Because again, you're getting one of these guys on top. You're getting Mazraoui, you're getting Disasi, Zela Ryan, Krovinovic, Ginter, Henrique Zielinski, Koopminers, Alaba. You're getting one of those guys on top of that.
Crazy.
That's fun, man. You know?
That's unreal. Fair play. That's
200 entrants, 40 prizes.
It's fucking not bad, is it? I know that's going to increase a bit, but it's not bad at all.
Underdog 45, we get 750 cards. There's just under 10,000 entrants. So this is the same as the normal underdog, but it's even harder because they have to be worse than 45 out of 100 as an average over their last 15 games. You get 5-star limiteds again, which I think is pretty good. Really good tier 1 pool, 40 spots. 150 tier 2s, and then like 550 tier 3s. So decent. I think that's actually better than normal underdog. So if you have an underdog team that would qualify for this, make sure you do underdog 45 first, I would say, because I think that's a better prize pool. We then get the ticket cards. I've not changed my teams for them. They're the only ones that stayed the same. Only 20 tickets or 40 tickets, but top 20 places get 2. And then we've seen the rest of the prize pools for the most part in terms of their numbers, Harry, from when we got the announcement. So we don't need to go through the numbers and all that kind of stuff. But what was maybe interesting to look at now is the entrance, right? Because I think there's been maybe some movement across the place, right? So in All-Star, they're always, in Limited, the numbers are always in the thousands, right? That's never really changing. All-Star Rare, 15,000 entrants, 800 cards, and obviously ETH is there and all the rest of it. But then, like, when I was looking at some of the pro divisions and some of the D2s, like, I was feeling a lot of them felt a bit lighter. And I think there's definitely a lot of manipulation and optimization going in to a lot of people's galleries this game week more than ever, because the fixture list, as we've just seen, is so tightly wound, isn't it? There's not that many power fixtures. And like for me personally, Harry, with the kind of part of the epiphany I had, right, is I went through All-Star and Challenger prize pools. There's no Celtic cards super rare wise. So for my big teams, I don't care where I'm putting them now in terms of, like, there's no Celtic cards to be found. They're all kind of, must be on cooldown or whatever this week. So I've kind of ripped up my game plan a little bit for that division, and I've went for specialist super rare. I've went for it because of what we've seen, you know. But part of what that means is I'm playing a rare keeper in Challenger Euro. Now, I want you to help me with this, right? In Challenger Euro, super rare, we've only got 118 entrants at this point, and you know and I know, half of them are probably not great lineups anyway. They're put togethers and odd ends and whatever.
Yeah.
And there's 27 places paying out. I think I'll show you my team, right? I think I can get away with a rare Joe Hart. A lot of people are going to be freaking out now that Joe Hart's not with Celtic cards. Can you see the screen? Sorry, Harry.
I can, yeah, but for some reason it doesn't stay, like I'm watching it on YouTube and it doesn't allow me to like stay live, as in like it like goes back, if that makes sense. Well, actually, no, maybe no, no, I can't. I can now, yeah, I can see your screen. Sorry, yeah, that's weird. That is, yeah, Joe Hart, Charlie McGrew, Ian Harks, Ross McCrory, and Tony Watt. Is that what I'm looking at?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. Are you sort of the fact that like you've got a rare heart in there? Is that kind of the
Rather than a super rare keeper, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that'll matter too much, to be honest. You're at home. Yeah, as long as you get 75s from him, which I think is very within the realm. I don't think you got much to worry about, to be honest. Like you said, Dundee have a good fixture, so in your mind is okay. Can Charlie Mulgrew get me 80?
Mm-hmm.
With the unique bonus, whatever that equates to.
Yep.
And yeah, as Watt as captain as well, if he can get us a cheeky DA for the boys, I don't think that goalie score will really matter as long as it's a clean sheet.
Yep.
I think you might be. Yeah, I think you might be fine there.
Good. I'm glad you think so. Because then what I've managed to do,
I think you will.
Because in the All-Star prize pool, right, even though there's no Celtic cards going around, we still do have, like, look at this. The podium is now laced with tier 1 rares on top. And we get a star super rare at the very tippy top. Now, all these tiers are actually really good. There's no Celtic cards in them, right? But I went through them all, and they're all pretty decent, to be honest, right? But
yeah,
the reason I've got uniques, the reason I've got big power Celtic cards is to try and win star super rares, or try and win uniques. Big, cool shit that I can't win without these cards, basically. Star super rares available, and the pool still looks pretty good. We've still got Kimmich, we've still got Vinny, we've still got Pedri, we've still got too many. Trent's in there now, Musiala's there now, Bellingham.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like, it is only number 1 that gets this in this division, but I have to put my best team, I have to put my Celtic cards against that. And I still need to, I've decided I'm going to facilitate a specialist team. I've only got 2 super rare keepers, which is why Hart is going up there as a rare to release the other one. So, the way it works out is I get this kind of Celtic middle stack here with the Getafe forward and the Getafe goalkeeper. Getafe are at home to Valladolid. It should be a fantastic fixture. And, I'm hoping I've played my cards right in this instance, but I think that's the best team I can build without just going all Celtic on it.
Do you think? I know this doesn't make sense because you can't play Getafe players in Challenger, but do you think Tony Watt has a better chance of scoring than Ines Unal?
I think it's quite similar, to be honest with you, but Unal, like Unal's got, I hate saying this, right, but Unal's got a bit more AA game on his record than Tony's got recently. So, and Unal is like, I actually think Tony and Dundee United are going to do great this weekend. I just recorded the podcast. Tony's back on this week, by the way. It'll be out. I'll probably put the audio version out tonight. The video version will be out first thing in the morning. But I do believe Tony's actually going to have a great game week. But Unal and that's just as a plum fixture where it lines up, and it's like he has to be put in a great team because I think it's a great fixture and he could rip a huge score. So I don't know if that answers your thing for me.
It kind of does. And then my next question would be, why wouldn't you captain Kyogo? I know he doesn't have the great. I know he's probably going to say AA, but could he score 2 or 3 quite comfortably?
It's because I'm hoping, because Rio's a defender card and he can maybe capture a clean sheet bonus. So
okay.
I don't expect either of those 2 boys to get 90 minutes. Maybe Kyogo does, right? I don't think Rio gets 90 just because of the rotation policy. And if he can get subbed off in the 65th minute with a clean sheet and a decisive action, then that'll be a great score.
Laughing on you.
Yeah. Whereas Kyogo maybe gets a decisive or 2. They'll probably be actually very similar scores, but that clean sheet, if he can leave the pitch with it, is just 10 points more.
It is. But then I look at that and go, but is there more of a chance of Kyogo scoring than Rio coming off the pitch with a clean sheet? And there's probably no, but then point is then, well, is it twice as probable? Because Furahashi's going to get 25 points, isn't he, technically, for a DA?
Yeah.
Where if Rio doesn't get a DA, he just gets his 10 points clean sheet. I know there's AA involved as well. But you know what I'm saying? It's 10 versus 25, basically, for me in my head. And I'm like, I don't know. I think Kyogo's got more chance of scoring, personally, than... Okay, not more of a chance of scoring than Rio getting a clean sheet, but I just think it's...
I think Rio can score or assist and get the clean sheet, you know?
Possibly, yeah.
I think they're both going to do amazing, but I think Rio's got the ability to just walk off with more points.
Possibly, yeah. On the best day possible, yeah. I do agree with that.
Because Rio Hatate, by the way, anyone who's got a Rio Hatate, you'll probably know this, right? But he got called up to Japan there, right? And he was on the bench for both games, didn't play a minute. So I think he's going to be coming back and he's going to be like raging and he's going to really want to do great against Motherwell, do great against Leipzig, and really you know, make a claim for the place for the World Cup, you know. So I think Hatate is going to have a great game. I think Kyogo, he only played 45 minutes or something. He's still kind of jostling with Junior Ito and a few other guys to get his place in the team. And again, but he did well. He's not injured. He's Kyogo. I think they'll both have great games, personally, you know.
No, I get it. No, I definitely get it.
But I think, yeah, I just might... Maybe Hatate's a bit more 100 capable is kind of what I think about. So then, what that then allowed me to do, right, is I built this team for the specialists. Now, bearing in mind, we've got to have two L15 under 40 players in here as well, right? So I've got my goalkeeper, Viviano, who's got a fantastic fixture at home to like the whipping boys of the division. We were speaking about that earlier. Greg Taylor got a fantastic game. And the reason Greg Taylor's in this team is he might not get 90 minutes this game week because... He played like the last international game, you know. We do have a good left back sub guy, young guy we've not really gave minutes to. We do have Leipzig in a big fixture list. So maybe Greg Taylor misses the last 10 minutes of the game and maybe that costs him 5 or 6 points on AA. You know, that's what I was thinking by not having him in the other team. Whereas Rio is much more likely, in my opinion, to maybe get a goal or something. But a great defender that really stands this team up, I think, with the goalkeeper. And then both the midfielders are L15 under 40. So I think Haidara is going to come in and start against Bochum, and that looks like a great game for Leipzig. And I know Elena is going to start for Getafe. And if he doesn't get booked, he can get good AA, and he is decisive capable, and he's getting better. And he's one of these guys that I love watching for SO5 because you watch them improve. And then I'm going to see his scores come in one day, and he's going to be shooting me up the board, and I think it might be this week. And then Hatate, I'm going with the forward cards because I think, again, he's going to be on an absolute heater. And I can't play the Hatate forward and defender on the same team.
True. Very true, as much as you want him.
So that's why, and again, that's why Unal's over there a little bit, because I had Rio forward in that team with the Greg Taylor defender. And then I had Viviano over there and Challenger, and I had these pieces kind of all over the place, and I kind of worked out, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to make the best team that I can for this specialist, and I think this is basically it. And then I'm going to make the best team that I can for that star super rare. But I still want to get those Dundee United guys in action, so I think they've got a great game as well. So that was the kind of moving pieces that I've had to have the epiphany with and scrap it all and go again for this game week. So yeah,
no, I think it's a very welcomed epiphany, to be honest. It makes complete sense to me. I like it.
The only other teams I'd kind of show, Harry, and we'll get your screaming up on the go. We'll kind of leave it, so my teams are not that important at this point. They're the ones I really stress over. But we've also got, this is what I'm going to All-Star Rare Pro. Now, I'm playing Wanyama in there, and it does feel really weird, right? But Wanyama's on some form now. Like, he's on L5 is over 60. He's absolutely killing it. He's got 100 recently. Wow. And like I said, Montreal are pushing, man, to get supporter shield and have a great finish to the season. And at home at DC United, man, he should be bossing it, getting passes. He maybe gets another goal or something, you know, because he's the captain of that team, you know, Big Vic. And then the rest of this team kind of speaks for itself. Guys on set pieces, Kyogo, Jens, whatever, all black. So yeah,
I like it. No, it's tidy, very tidy.
Yeah, that's what I think. And under 23s, this is the only team that has never changed once since I made it, because it's
nice.
It's it kind of builds itself. This team, the Mecca's got a good fixture. And then, you can probably read it's just is what it is. Not changed it once. Captain Jota till I die. And I have a funny team to show. Oh, no. Let me just glance over the kind of preview thing. Sorry. And then we'll get your screen up, Harry. You've still got the share screen up, so if you just want to get your wee team page up.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything. Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to show, right? So, in All-Star Rare, right, I've got Johnson and Callens, who are on good form, I think, and getting on better form. And I've got Gold and Russell, my two Scots in the MLS, right? And I'm
Love it,
also
love
playing
it.
Snodgrass, who is at home, Hearts versus Rangers right now. I'm not sure Snodgrass is going to start or not, right? But he's not eligible for European football. Hearts have Europe on Thursday. So I definitely reckon he gets about half an hour. Maybe he starts and plays 70, but I think he'll get half an hour. He takes set pieces. He's a maverick, Snodgrass. You know, playing Rangers at Tynecastle was a big fixture for Hearts. And putting him in All Stars, harmless fun. You know, as long as I get ETH, I'm not too bothered. But if Snodgrass does something, maybe this team like could do something fun. Could get top 100 again or
100%.
something, top 200 maybe if I'm lucky. And then I've got a nice kind of Scottish kind of vibe there with the team, and you know, solid defense behind it. So I think that's kind
I
of
love
fun.
it. I love it. Yeah, no, I really like that.
Any Hearts fans, let me know what you
Um,
think. And then, yeah, if we do have Gio Reyna coming back in, I would maybe play Reyna here over Ao Tanaka. If we think
okay.
Rio, if Reyna is fit, I'm going to play. So I need to check into that further. And then it means I could upgrade Andrade because he's the other L15 under 40 cards. Did I just see Castellanos? Yes, I did. So if I did
I'd
that,
be.
then I would be. Oh, this might be a huge upgrade. I think. Oh, wow. Right, so if we think Reyna's in, that's the team for specialist. That's a great looking team, eh? For
Yeah,
specialist rare.
that's that's really tasty. I don't know about the whole Reina thing. I know they said that it's precautionary, but you don't get brought off in the 30th minute. Personally, if things are going right, if that makes sense, you know.
Mm,
I don't
yeah.
know. It doesn't sound great to me. Like really, it doesn't sound horrendous, but it doesn't sound great.
Yeah, I
Is
think
what
you're
I
right,
would
Harry.
say.
Let's not jump the gun. Let's look into it a bit more. Eh?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. Like you said, is it even that good of a fixture?
I
I don't
suppose.
know. It's okay.
I
Like I
think it
don't
is if he's
love it.
playing because I think he'll do great in it.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, he could do, but I don't look at that fixture and go, "Wow, I need to get a potentially injured player into this line." Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep,
I think Tanaka does you know, he just he's there and he probably plays, doesn't he? Whether he gets you a 90, he probably doesn't, but I don't think he's there for that, you know.
for sure. And then we've got your teams, Harry. I've just realised how long we've been going for, man. I'm really.
No, you're fine. Yeah, sorry lads, I'm having to go around 8 o'clock, so um, yeah, that's kind of why Quinny's sort of
Oh,
rushing, I
sorry,
think.
man.
But no, I do appreciate it. No, no, it's not that much of a rush to be honest. We're fine. Yeah, so oh yeah, I can see my team on the screen now. Let's go.
Yeah, you're all fired up,
Yeah,
buddy.
so yeah, so I'll just sort of go from priority to sort of non-priority. But yeah, uh, goalkeeper options this week, a few and far between in terms of fixtures. Costa's the only one that's at home, I believe. Yes. So yeah, he's kind of just had to be in there by default. He could get a clean sheet, but he could also concede three. Like Braga are a very good team. Like I'm
Yeah.
not. Yeah, I'm a little bit scared to be completely honest. I've had to fit in a rare timber into this team. The last time I did this, it paid off for me. In terms of like he just scored really well at home against like a bit of a dud. Um, so yeah, I'm sort of trying to emulate that again. Badia Shield comes in. He just played 2 games for France, first sort of cap for them for the first team and stuff. So I think he'll be really high on confidence. Does that mean he gets rotated? Maybe, but I'm sort of willing to take the risk. I did see Mariapan signed a 3-year extension today, so I don't know
Oh,
what that
nice.
sort of means. Florentino Luis, he didn't go on international duty, so I saw today that Enzo and Arnau, so whatever the other CDM's called for Benfica, they both did gym work today. So if you've got an Enzo, just be a little bit cautious. I don't know if they have anything else really that they could do. They don't play till Sunday, I believe. Or maybe that is Saturday. No, that's Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, that is Saturday. So yeah, I don't know. I know they didn't train today. They just did gym work. But like I said, Florentino Luis has been in at Benfica, at Benfica for the last 10 days or so. So I think he's just glued into that start 11. And then Jens Odegaard, I don't think he went away either. Carlson looks to be fit. From the interview I heard, it looks like he's going to play. I just don't know if that's going to be off the bench or like 60 minutes from starting, but Odegaard's probably going to be in. So yeah, that kind of just concludes my best team. Like I'd love it if I had a better goalkeeper fixture on paper. I don't. I did mention Badia Shield is playing nonce at home, so good fixture if he plays, of course. And then going into my next lineup, I'd probably say Super under 23. Tanny is away. He might get a decent AA. I don't expect him to keep a clean sheet.
I love
Carlos
seeing that
Cuesta's got a
unique
good.
out in teams.
I know. I'm really happy because we'll get into it in a minute. But yeah, Carlos Cuesta away to Ostend, but I think that's a good fixture for him, to be honest. He's been scoring pretty well. Alan Varela, I did a little swap with Yari Vasharan about 3 hours ago, to be honest. Not much rationale behind it, just the fact that like Yari's killed me for the last 15 games and decided to get a decisive or two last game, and I didn't play him. So I'm still a bit butthurt over him. So that's why Varela's coming in. Can he get me to 60 points without a decisive is kind of the sort of objective for him. Zaidu Youssef. So yeah, like I said, for Millicao, have sacked their manager. They've got a new guy in. He was there like 3 years ago. The fans seem to like him and stuff. So there might be a bit of change. You know, Zaidu might not start, but I've spoke to a Famalicão fan that plays Sorare, and yeah, he seems to think the Zaidu should play. But you know,
Nice.
what does he know? Of course. But yeah, just buzzing. They're at home. It's a tough game though against Boavista. They're no mugs at all. I think they're fifth.
That's a good game for him, but tackles and interceptions,
Yeah,
and all that.
100%. Yeah, he's been the busiest. Like his last 6 games, he missed one game. He was on the bench for one game. Apart from that, he started every game. He got like an 84 in one of those where he scored. The rest of them, he's got like 50s to 55s. So like, yeah, if he can get me to 60, you know, with no decisive, then I'm over the moon. And then Zion finally scored a goal.
Hey,
for Millwall. It was given as an own goal first. It got adjusted into his own goal. Sorry, it was a header, and they said that the keeper put it into his own net, but apparently he didn't. Zion's got his first decisive. His AA's been great. They're away to Blackburn. It's not a great fixture, but I don't really have much else in terms of Super F forward. So yeah, he's having to be in there.
nice.
It's a decent enough lineup. To be honest. It's nothing like there's no pieces in there where I'm like, wow, this should be in my under 23 rare pro. But they're all good enough in their own right. Is probably how I'd describe that. Under 23 rare, again, keeper doesn't have a great fixture. They play Monaco away. Fofana, to be fair, does have a decent fixture if he plays. Apparently, they played like an in-house friendly or something against Brighton, and he played it, you know, at the right of a back four with Koulibaly. So they think he's gonna sort of, you know, maybe stick with the same sort of formation and lineup, and hopefully Fofana plays. We got Pedri away to Mallorca, Enzo away to Vitoria, and Mika has actually got a good fixture at home. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. At home to Pau. I was going to play him instead of Odegaard, but I've just got a funny, I just can't risk. Mika just come back from international duty as well, so there's a little bit of risk there. Tiny bit. So I just prefer to go with Odegaard there. And then we're getting into the spicy ones. So, like I said, I've never entered a specialist super rare purely because I didn't have the goalkeepers. But now I have a goalkeeper. I have a Gaten Cook super rare card, which is designed to sort of take over from Tani when the J-League finishes, of course. And right now, he's just going to fit in as a specialist super rare goalkeeper until he has a good enough fixture to where I'll put him into the under 23 super rare lineup. But yeah, they're away to Bruges. Look, he could get absolutely battered here, and the lineup's done. So that's why he's going in here, basically. He can't be risked in the under 23 super rare. Sekikawa and Arakai both playing for Antlers at home to Tokyo, FC Tokyo. It's a good enough fixture. You know, Arakai might not start, which is a bit of a worry, but he is one of the L15 under 40, so he has to be in here. Same as Kutku, who is away to Foyth. Again, it's a rubbish, it's a good enough fixture, but I don't.
It's a good fixture for an attacker,
to be honest. It is, and he's the type of player that I probably don't even need him to start. He could just come off the bench and get me a 60, and I could kind of maybe be okay with that. And then this is where I've thrown Yari into here. His L15 is still under 50, so he's not affected anything, but it's over 40. So he doesn't qualify for that. But at home to Charleroi, you just don't know. They're two good teams. And he had a stormer last game. Let's hope he can sort of kick on again, basically. And then Underdog Super Rare, which I'm actually really excited about as well. Not too excited about the forward option that I have in Akida. I could play João Mario that plays for Porto, but he's like third choice right back at this point after the blinders he's been performance-wise that he's been having. So I'm having to go with Akida, who can get good AA. He hasn't got a DA in a little while, but it's an okay fixture. Sforz's has been really good recently, but he picked up a little injury and went off the boil a little bit, but now he's back in the side. Nico is captain. He's now L15 under 50. Away to Leicester, it's a bottom of the table clash, basically, that I'm hoping that there might be goals in it, and Nico needs to be involved for me in terms of DAs. And then Jordan Bayer, like I said, I'm hoping I can go watch him play live against Cardiff on Saturday. So that would be great. Charlie Daniels, is it? Or Charlie Taylor? Charlie Taylor for Burnley was injured or got injured in a game, I think against Bristol City last game. Bayer came in, played really well apparently,
Nice.
and has kept his place. But I think Charlie is sort of, I looked on Sports Gamble and they said like he's expected back in a few days. So I don't know if he's back, but I'm just sort of praying that the Bayer keeps his place next to Harwood Bellis. And hopefully they can get a great little partnership going. And hopefully that team, I don't know, I've just got a little bit more excitement going on than usual. I do have an all-star rare team, but it's just an ETH grinder, even though there's some big names in there, don't get me wrong. But fixture-wise and Carlson might not play type of situation. I'm really excited. I never really have 6 teams out, and I never really have 5 that like might do something. I'm actually so excited for this game week, honestly, Quinny.
Aye, it's one of those ones where I think like the main worry and concern I've had to this point is making sure I don't fuck it up. Like making sure that I pick the teams I should be picking, and I definitely make sure I don't waste that guy who I think is going to have a good score. That's been my main kind of thing coming into, because it is going to be a belter of a game week, and there's nothing worse than getting hyped up for a game week and you don't capitalize on it. Your guy that goes off, you put him in the wrong team, or you talked yourself out of something at the last minute, or you didn't talk yourself into something at the last minute, or whatever 100%. It is.
The one for me is like, as long as I've put all the players in that I think are going to do something somewhere, like I can't be too hard on myself. If I've left someone out completely, then I need to take a hard look at myself, basically. And with the gallery I have, I can't really do too much of that because there's not enough players. But there is the odd super rare that just could go off, and I'm like, oh, well, I should have played him. But I think I've covered all bases now that like Nico's underdog eligible, and I can put bits elsewhere basically, because playing the specialist super rare, there's 5 of the super rares available now, where before they would be all in a training lineup, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
So that one super rare, or that extra one super rare goalkeeper, has kind of opened up a whole new dynamic, I guess, to my predominantly under 23 gallery. So it's made me a lot more excited for this game week, to be honest.
I've got a need for like 3 goalkeepers, Harry. So see hearing you saying that now, like that's why I'm playing that rare Hart, because I kind of really I could do with capturing. I've been trying to bid like mad for this super rare Joe Hart that some guy called Big Park won. And if you look at his gallery, mate, it's full of Kawasaki supers and uniques and all that. So I'm guessing his name's Big Park. I'm guessing he's Japanese. I'm guessing he doesn't have Discord, doesn't have Twitter or anything like that. He's won a Joe Hart. I've been basically trying to spend my wallet on it, and he's just holding out for his list price, I think. And
he's got him up for sale, is he?
Yeah.
I can see.
But he started off, he had it listed at 4.8, and he's now down to I think 3.9 or something.
3.8. Yeah, I'm actually looking at it right now. Yeah. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would complete your
that's a high value super rare keeper to me, because it just it goes with everything else, so there's guaranteed utility like all times for that.
Like I know you don't want to admit it, but you would pay over the odds technically.
Oh, of course I would. I'm not shy about that. I definitely would.
No.
But there's paying over the odds, and there's
taking
up the jacksie.
No, I get you, mate. I get you.
So that's basically where I'm at.
No, I love it.
So I think that's I know it's been a bit of a long one. Thanks to everyone who has been joining us. Harry, good luck with all your teams, buddy. I hope you're exactly 1 point behind me on all the leaderboards.
The 23 Rare Pro.
Going live, like we're basically right at the end of the stream now, guys. There's about 44 of you here. At 8 o'clock on the button, the end product podcast goes live. So if any are stuck with something to do on all audio platforms, Sorare TV, the video version, all the rest of it, just managed to make sure there it was all there. It's all working. Done it all in the background for the stream today, so I can multitask. I've achieved something today, So if any are up for more stuff, Sorare TV YouTube channel, End Product, or End Product Podcast, and all the podcast places. And I'm assuming you need to go, Harry.
No, I do need to. I'm not in a massive rush. It's only around the corner where I need to be, but
you tell me when we're done then.
For a
right?
couple minutes. No, 5 minutes, and we can sort of wrap it up if you want.
Yeah. Okay. So that because the other thing I was going to throw at you against this, beautiful. I've just caught up with the last three today. Oh, good
Yeah.
stuff. Weasel Mount catching up with the podcast.
Weasel Mount, love that.
Um,
Love that.
would you cry it? Is with these. So yeah, I've got a real. So I've sold Van der Vaart and I've sold Bayezit, and I've sold Trippier, and I now have a kind of need for three goalkeepers all of a sudden, and I'm really tossing and turning with what to do with them. Like I'm kind of looking at some of these La Liga 2 guys and thinking like, oh, should I maybe get one of these guys? Because then like I need a rare for when the Americans like stop playing football for like a couple of game weeks. It's not a huge need, but I do need them when European football comes back at Christmas. So that's my main need for a rare. I then need a super rare that can play specialist when my other cards, which are predominantly European, are playing, because that's a great prize pool I want to be fighting in. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I need two keepers. Sorry, I could do with a third. I could do with another challenger or U23 guy. I could do with, but I don't need. So yeah.
So you need a rare and a super rare goalkeeper, basically. At minimum. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really a big expert on goalkeepers outside of under 23s, and even then, like the sort of pool is so small, isn't it? In terms of like where you can really fish. I don't know. It's just not. It's not really that enticing. I mean, there's obviously loads in Challenger and Champion, outside of under 23s that we could sort of speak about. But yeah, you're probably looking to spend a decent whack, aren't you? Really?
Yeah. So, well, it's again how much. So I've got a bit of budget to try and fight for that heart. So it's like, do I just go and get the heart and then just write off having another rare keeper for a bit?
Possibly. Yeah.
Or do I try and, I keep telling myself, hold out for another heart auction, because I should, if I have ETH, I think I should get that for maybe about the sort of ETH I'm playing about with. But as a gamble, and then maybe it goes for a roundabout where this prick's trying to sell it for anyway, and then it just compounds them hanging out for basically 4 ETH for it, and then I'm screwed because I'm never going to pay 4 ETH for it.
Yeah.
100%. Like for me, the rare's like 1.5 or something like that now. Like I think for a super rare keeper, like I think you pay an extra ETH on top. In essence, I don't think you do double unless it's a premium guy. I think if you're running, and Joe Hart's 35 and in the Scottish League, right? So let's check ourselves on this one. It's not Van der Vaart, it's not fucking Diego Souza or Diego Costa, whatever he's called. It's Joe Hart, 35-year-old, right? So
yeah,
like we're not doing 3 and 4x on a goalkeeper then.
Yeah, the thing is, like, people are just, because we know who Joe Hart is and how old, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will just look at his scores and be like, he plays for Celtic, he's scoring crazy well. Why isn't he 40th? Because, like, do you know what I'm saying? In a weird way, like, they'll look at Pasvia. I know Pasvia's a lot cheaper, but he's also, like, 3 years older. And just go, well, he's the Ajax goalkeeper, so of course he's going to be pretty expensive. That's just the problem with that. But yeah, in essence, it's a 35-year-old Joe Hart we're talking about here, which is bonkers, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and 35 is not exactly old for a goalkeeper either as well. So I understand
it's
this.
Not.
And I know what it's like winning a card and you want to sell it for a pretty penny. So I get where the guy's coming from, but 4 ETH, man, it's just a bit steep for me.
Yeah, 4 ETH's crazy. You can't. Would you? I know, like, would you do 3 now?
No.
You wouldn't, would you?
Nah, I
if
think
he offered it you on the plate.
I think about 2.5 is really as high as I would go.
Okay.
Because I think on auction, I don't think it goes for much more. Like I was looking at it, like, see, Barkas.
Yeah.
Like his what was it again? His rare.
What did that unique? Oh yeah.
So the unique went for like 1.5, right? But the rares are kind of knocking around for about 0.5. But the supers are auctioning about 0.7, 0.8. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And he's maybe a fun example because he's probably going to get dropped soon, right, or whatever. But like,
that one's a tough one, isn't it?
Even if you look at that for like as a kind of thing on somebody who's playing the now and getting scores and whatever, because his scores, you look at his L7 or something, it's good.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, I don't think the goalkeeper market is quite the whole 3-4x and whatever. I've had that experience with selling them as well. You try and get 3 and 4x to them, and nobody will pay it.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's not 3 and 4, but I do think it's around 2, isn't it? If we're being honest. But like you said, when they're 35, maybe that changes. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that changes.
U23s, like
I get
it's
it.
Different kettle of fish. I think you go above that because U23 keepers are so few and far between as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely. 100%.
So yeah, maybe some homework for
Oh,
everyone. Help me out.
yeah, definitely. I'll have a little think tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna make a move now. So
Thanks
yeah,
to
lads,
everyone for
been an
joining
absolute
us.
pleasure. Quinny as well. Thank you for having me on. And yeah, good luck for the game week, lads. Massive, massive chance to win some prizes.
Take care. Bye bye.